How's it going, everyone? Now, I know a lot of you are going to be really disappointed to see that word in another title of one of my videos. But I feel like when I do these non-live streaming videos, I really want to kind of let out some intense feelings that I've been experiencing and just kind of like share with you guys the struggles that I've had ever since living up here. And so imagine that you were to just go off somewhere off in the mountains or off to some hidden lake. You've had enough of life. You figure it's like, it's not going to matter if you don't exist anymore. You won't be missed. No one's going to even know where you went. No one's going to even find your body. I mean, that's when you realize that you've come to a point in your life to where you're thinking that you could just go off there, finish off yourself, and that no one would even notice. That's when it really hits you really hard of how loneliness is impacting you. And those are the feelings that I have been pretty much experiencing up here while living in this city. Now, I know I've been boasting about how Bellingham is an awesome city, and don't get me wrong, it is a kick-butt awesome city. Lots of mountain biking, paddleboarding, hiking, skiing, snowboarding. But I feel like what's really missing is that human interaction. And it's like, if you're a college student, or if you're a young couple, or if you've already got your close group of friends to hang out with, Bellingham, you can't beat Bellingham. But I feel like, and for a person, a man my age and my situation, trying to meet people up here is futile. And before I get to some of the feelings that kind of course through my body about living up here and whatnot, I want to say that these past few weeks and a lot of these group hikes I have done further down south, I have felt more alive than ever these past 10 years. And I even hosted my first group hike event last Friday up Rattlesnake Ledge. Yep, my first group event that I hosted. It's like, all right, I'm doing Rattlesnake Ridge. Who wants to come along? 16 other people came along. And it was like, wow. But that's the thing. It was further down south, like Issaquah, North Bend, Seattle, all those people from like all those places, came to the hike. And most of the hikes I go to involve having to drive like about an hour 40 on up to about 2.5 hours. So I feel like my greatest opportunity and where I feel like I'm actually starting to potentially make some connections is from people that are down south of where I'm at. There are a handful of people in the hiking groups that live up here, but I just don't seem to be making that connection. I mean, some of the things that course through my mind are probably thinking, okay, I'm like an old 46-year-old creep. I don't have much of a social circle. I'm broke. I can't seem to find myself a good job. But see, these are like things that are going through my head. But I do have to wonder if location does play a role in regards to whether or not a person of a particular age, gender, or whatever it may be, can easily make friends in a certain area. I love Bellingham. I'm going to miss it. But I feel like I got to go a little further south to really kind of tap into that opportunity to help put an end to my loneliness, these suicidal thoughts. And so my lease is up August 31st. And because I don't have first or last month's rent, I don't really want to stay up here and continue to potentially put myself at further risk of deteriorating mental health. And like I said, I love it up here, but I feel like what's really missing from life is that human interaction. And those feelings of being so alive on these hikes I've done further down south, I'm willing to risk being homeless for a couple weeks, maybe a month or so, until I can get that first and last month's rent or whatever it takes for me to find a place further on down south. Because here's an interesting thing too. I'm also co-hosting a skydiving event. And it's like, luckily there's a group discount and whatnot, but I'm co-hosting that event, and that's further south as well. So I feel like all my opportunities, whether it's finding a job, meeting more people, developing closer, deeper connections with people, it's further south. So I'm going to take the chance. I know some of you are probably thinking, don't do it. It's dangerous sleeping in your car, but I'm ready to live on a trajectory to positivity. I'm ready to experience more of those feelings where I feel alive, where I feel like I'm part of a group, where it's like, hey, there is hope after all in life. I can be like, yes, I'm not going to be a loner the rest of my life. And that's what I look forward to. Because up here, I've had fun skiing and whatnot, but for the most part, I've just got feelings like I'm a creep or like I'm a loser. And it's like, I'm done with it. I'm done with these suicidal thoughts. And it's like, if I can't seem to fit in up here, well, it's like, it is what it is. So I am going south. That's pretty much final decision. Unless something miraculous happens within these last couple of months, I'll be open to the possibilities. But right now, my eye is going south. That's where all the action is. That's where I feel like I'm going to be more happier. And that's where I feel like I'm going to be on a trajectory to betterness, fulfillment, and whatnot. So I just wanted to kind of share some of the feelings I've been going through. And I thank you all again for your continued support, comments, and just being there with me through some of my adventures. And hopefully I can get some of these live streams to work a little better than they have. But sometimes it's just trial and error. But once again, thank you all for joining in, and I'll see you guys in the next video.